nothing's changing. It can almost feel like you're banging your head against a wall. You play your heart out, and for some reason, you can't break past platinum. You're asking yourself, what am I truly missing? Trust me, I have been there too. But the truth is, actually getting out of platinum isn't just about doing the basics better. It's about mastering the subtleties that most players overlook. It's the super small details that make the difference between plateauing at plat and pushing in a diamond. So today we're going over some advanced and uncommon tips that can finally help you break free. Let's get into it. In platinum, positioning is everything. But here's the secret. The smallest adjustments in your positioning can make the biggest difference. And I'm not even talking about full rotations or switching between bomb sites constantly. I'm talking about these minor shifts in your game, just moving a few inches to the left or right, crouching or standing at different heights to mess with an enemy's pre-aim. Think about it like this. By making these small changes, you're forcing the enemy to adjust their aim on the fly. So these micro adjustments can catch opponents off guard because most players in platinum are aiming for the most predictable spots. So just don't give them that satisfaction. The next time you're holding an angle after firing once or twice, change your stance or where your cover is to keep the enemy off guard. And this actually works both ways on attack and defense. Holding an angle for too long can make you a sitting duck easy to pre-fire. So while patience is key, constantly tweaking your position will give you that edge. Imagine you're in a gunfight on a door standing, you shoot a few times and then crouch. Your enemy thinks they know where your head is going to be, but you already moved, forcing them to lose that gunfight. And next, everybody knows that sound is key in Siege, but how you use it can actually elevate your play. So here's another uncommon tip. Don't just listen for enemy sound cues, learn to mask your own sound with them. Whether you just throw your drone at the wall in the opposite direction to mislead them, or you shoot at the wall to make a distraction, you can actually cover your footsteps with intentional noise. And this isn't just about getting fancy, it's about manipulating what your opponents hear to create doubt in their mind. So let's say you're trying to rotate through a tight spot or where an enemy could hear you. Instead of sprinting straight through and dying, throw a gadget or fire your weapon in one area and then move silently to the next. Now the enemy thinks you're going one way, but in reality, you're actually already on the move, setting up for a flank around them. And they won't expect this, and this opens up opportunities for many surprise kills and plays for your team. And the beauty of sound masking is it plays with the enemy's instincts. Most players in platinum are listening for every single footstep and they react to what they hear. Have you ever played a game where you shoot your gun and the enemies just sprint right at you? This is literally platinum. So by throwing off these auditory cues, you create confusion. It's about setting traps, and not just with your gadgets, you're setting mental traps with the sound itself. And the best part is when it works, it feels like magic. You get that kill and the enemy has literally no clue what hit them. And most platinum players are super predictable with their utility. Frost mats in the usual windows, utility in the default spots, and cams in the same corners. So here's the tip. Start placing your gadgets in less obvious spots. It seems very obvious, but you would be surprised at what changing your spots can actually do for you. Instead of placing a frost mat in a default spot, try putting it slightly off center of a window or in a location where an enemy might rush into it without looking. For example, throwing a vault cam lower than normal or behind an odd piece of furniture is much better than throwing it on the ceiling where enemies always look for it. Players at this level are simply laser focused on clearing the common spots, but they'll miss these out of the box placements, and that's when you usually capitalize. The unexpected is what's going to get you kills and wins in platinum. Think about the last time you were caught by a frost mat in a totally random spot and you got pissed. That's the feeling you want to create in your opponents. When players think they cleared a room and there's no utility, they end up letting their guard down. But by hiding your gadgets in those non-obvious locations, you're waiting for the perfect moment to capitalize on their false sense of security. You're essentially playing a mind game with them, and it's one that they rarely will win. But one of the biggest mistakes platinum players make is playing too fast. The pressure to outmaneuver your opponent often leads you into rushing decisions, and rushing can get you killed. So instead, take an extra second. You don't always have to be the first to peek, the first to push, or the first to get a kill. Waiting for the right moment can make all the difference. Make sure you watch your angles, bait out the enemy's aggression, and listen for sound cues before you make a move. You'd actually be hella surprised about how many players get impatient in a stalemate and expose themselves, giving you the advantage. Patience is a powerful weapon in Siege. But let's not get it twisted. It isn't just about waiting. It's about creating an opportunity for the enemy to make a mistake. Platinum players love to be aggressive, but aggression often leads to recklessness. If you stay calm, hold a tight angle, or delay your peak, you'll put the pressure back on them. They'll either overextend or just rush into your crosshair for an easy kill. And that extra second could mean the difference between winning and losing a round. Another thing to consider is platinum players are often locked into specific roles or strategies, and the key to moving beyond this rank is actually adaptability. The operators you choose should allow you to change tactics as the game progresses. A super simple example is you trying to open a wall with Thermite or Ace, and a player on the other team is bandit tricking. You guys can't open the wall, and then ultimately you lose the round. An operator adaptation in this moment would be bringing a Maverick and a soft breach so that you can make the wall soft and open it 100% of the time, which basically means you should always be thinking ahead and how can I turn the tide mid-round. If you're stuck in a linear mindset with operators that don't have much flexibility, you'll just find yourself trapped in predictable patterns. So picking operators with adaptability in mind is what will make you a more dynamic and harder to predict player in those critical moments. And this is actually when you can really shine. Siege isn't just about sticking sticking to the plan, it's about reacting to what the enemy is doing. And the best players are the ones who can change their approach mid-round. Whether it's switching from holding a plant spot to covering a rotate or using your gadget to cut off a key area, adaptability is your greatest asset. And Platinum players are smart, but they're also super stubborn. So if you can adapt faster than they can, you're already winning. But one of the biggest game changers in Platinum is mastering the art of pre-firing. But let's take it a step further. Pre-firing dead spots. These are locations on the map that players frequently pass through or stand behind, but are often overlooked because they seem safe or less obvious. So think about those areas where players generally use to hide, or the spots where they think they're hidden behind cover. By identifying these spots, you can turn the tide of engagements before the enemy even knows what hit them. For example, there are tons of areas on every map that players tend to lean on when trying to hide from an enemy or remain hidden. And if you've played the map enough times, you know exactly where these are. Start adding these spots into your mental map and start pre-firing them when you're pushing. And it's not even about luck, it's all about expectation. You know someone's likely to be there, so take the initiative before they do and start pre-firing. And this isn't just about firing at random and losing all the bullets in your gun. It's about understanding the flow of the map and predicting where people feel safe. Platinum players love to rat and hide in spots where you don't think they are, but those can actually be their downfall if you catch them off guard. And the key here is just learning and experience. Once you've mastered where these spots are, you can start turning those risky pushes into guaranteed kills. It's a super subtle way to flip the script on an enemy and assert your dominance in those critical moments. All in all, breaking out of Platinum takes more than just good aim and communication. It's about thinking one step ahead, being unpredictable, and playing smarter, not harder. This is a rank where you're surrounded by players who have solid skills, but it's these small, often overlooked adjustments that separate the top players from the rest. So try out these tips, switch up your playstyle, and watch yourself climb. If you learned anything that helped you in the last few minutes, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And let me know down in the comments what rank you guys are currently at and which one you're pushing for next. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you guys can stay updated with my videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.